A 72-year-old patient once came into my office, a gentleman I'd known for years, for his annual checkup. He sat down across from me, looking perfectly healthy on paper, but his expression was troubled. He leaned forward and said, "Doc, I've been doing it the same way for 50 years, but lately something just feels off." He wasn't talking about his golf swing or his morning walk. He was talking about something much more private. He described a subtle but persistent change, a feeling that his body wasn't responding the way it used to, and it was causing him a great deal of quiet concern and confusion. What was fascinating, and frankly what made this a medical puzzle, was that he wasn't sick. His blood work was excellent, his blood pressure was stable. We went through his entire medical history, looking for any new variable, any recent illness or lifestyle shift that could be the culprit, but there was nothing. He was, by all clinical measures, a model of healthy aging. Yet something was quietly hurting his body, chipping away at his confidence. It was an invisible problem, one that didn't show up on any lab test or physical exam, but was very real to him. That something, as we eventually uncovered through a careful and sensitive conversation, was masturbation. Now, let me be crystal clear right from the start. The problem was not the act of masturbation itself. Self-pleasure is a normal, healthy, and beneficial part of human sexuality at any age, with proven benefits for stress relief, sleep, and even prostate health. The issue wasn't he was doing it, but he had been doing it for decades. Certain habits, ingrained over half a century, had started to create unintended negative consequences as his body changed with age. To help me explain these complex topics with the depth they deserve, I'll be referencing the incredible work of Dr. Evelyn Marsh, a board-certified urologist with over 40 years of clinical experience specializing in men's sexual health and aging. Dr. Marsh's research highlights a critical point. While masturbation is healthy, the body after 60, 70, or 80 is different. It responds differently to stimuli, it recovers differently, and it's more susceptible to certain types of strain. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 7 of the most common mistakes older men make, based on clinical experience and urological research, and explain how to fix them, gently and naturally. Let's begin. A common mistake is over-reliance on pornography for arousal. Porn floods your brain with intense visual stimulation, triggering a massive dopamine release. Your brain learns to associate this with sexual pleasure, creating a neurological pathway. Real-world arousal involves touch, fantasy, and emotional connection. Over time, your brain expects that same level of intensity, and anything less feels boring. This desensitization can lead to porn-induced erectile dysfunction or a general numbness to normal stimulation. Your brain is adaptable, reinforced pathways can be weakened, and healthier ones formed. Recognize when it creates an unhealthy dependency, diminishing your natural capacity for pleasure. Implement a reset period, taking a break from pornography to allow your brain's dopamine receptors to recalibrate. Focus on non-visual stimulation, rediscovering your senses and imagination. Reset your mind, relearn pleasure from touch and fantasy, and reclaim control of your sexuality. The second common mistake is one of convenience that carries surprising health risks: masturbating while sitting on the toilet. For many men, this becomes a habit for privacy and easy cleanup. It seems logical, but from a physiological standpoint, it's one of the worst positions you can choose. When you sit on a toilet seat, the design of the open bowl means your perineum, the area between your scrotum and anus, is left unsupported. This position allows the pelvic floor muscles to sag downwards, placing sustained strain on a complex network of muscles, nerves, and blood vessels that are vital for both urinary and sexual function. Prolonged sitting on the toilet, for any reason, is known to increase the risk of developing hemorrhoids. These are swollen veins in your lower rectum and anus, and the pressure created by this specific sitting position is a major contributing factor. When you add the act of masturbation, which involves increased blood flow to the entire pelvic region and rhythmic muscle contractions, you are significantly amplifying that pressure. You're essentially creating a perfect storm for vascular strain in a very sensitive area, which can lead to the formation or worsening of painful hemorrhoids over time, turning a private moment of pleasure into a source of chronic discomfort. Beyond hemorrhoids, this habit can have serious implications for your prostate health. The prostate gland sits right at the base of the bladder, and the awkward, slumped posture common to sitting on a toilet can put undue pressure on it. Chronic pressure and inflammation in this area can contribute to conditions like chronic prostatitis or chronic pelvic pain syndrome. The symptoms can be vague but distressing: a feeling of pressure, difficulty urinating, or a persistent, dull ache in the pelvic region. Many men suffer from these symptoms without ever connecting them to this seemingly harmless daily habit. Furthermore, this position is terrible for your posture and can lead to musculoskeletal issues. Hunching over on a toilet for an extended period puts a significant strain on your lower back, neck, and shoulders. This can exacerbate existing back pain or even create new problems. The tension you create in your upper body is also counterproductive to relaxation and pleasure. Instead of being a relaxed, full-body experience, it becomes a tense, hunched, and physiologically stressful event. The convenience of the location is simply not worth the cumulative risk it poses to your vascular, prostate, and musculoskeletal health. Let's dive a little deeper into the biomechanics of why this position is so problematic. Healthy sexual function, particularly the ability to get and maintain a firm erection, is all about blood flow. Your body needs to be able to pump blood into the penis and keep it there. When you are slumped over on a toilet, you are creating kinks and restrictions in your circulatory system, much like bending a garden hose. The posture can compress major blood vessels in your groin and abdomen, impeding the smooth, efficient flow of blood to where it needs to go. This can make achieving a full erection more difficult. This poor posture also directly impacts your nervous system. The nerves responsible for arousal and orgasm run through the pelvis and lower spine. Hunching forward compresses the lumbar spine, which can pinch or irritate these crucial nerves. This can lead to a dulling of sensation or, in some cases, nerve pain that radiates into the legs or groin. You are essentially short-circuiting the very signals your body needs to process pleasure. You want your nervous system to be relaxed and open, allowing for the free transmission of sensory information, not constricted and compressed in a way that dampens the entire experience. Moreover, the act of bearing down or straining, which can happen semi-consciously when sitting on the toilet, especially during orgasm, activates the Valsalva maneuver. This is when you try to exhale against a closed airway. This action dramatically increases intra-abdominal and thoracic pressure, which puts a sudden, sharp strain on your heart and circulatory system. For older men, especially those with underlying cardiovascular conditions or high blood pressure, repeatedly inducing this kind of pressure spike is unwise and potentially dangerous. It's a physiological stressor your body simply doesn't need. Contrast this with a healthier position, such as lying on your back. In a supine position, your spine is neutral, your muscles are relaxed, and your circulatory system is unobstructed. Blood can flow freely to the pelvic region, and your nerves are not being compressed. This position allows for deep, diaphragmatic breathing, which calms the nervous system and enhances relaxation, both of which are key components of a satisfying sexual experience. The difference in physiological response between these two postures is night and day. One creates tension and restriction, while the other promotes relaxation and optimal function. The solution to this problem is, thankfully, incredibly simple. Change your location and your position. The goal is to choose a space that allows you to be comfortable, relaxed, and fully supported. Your bed is the most obvious and ideal choice. Lying on your back or your side allows your body to fully relax. It takes all the pressure off your pelvic floor, spine, and internal organs. This simple change of scenery transforms the act from one of physiological stress into one of genuine relaxation and pleasure, which is the entire point of the activity. When you move to the bed, you also open up a world of positional variety. You're no longer locked into one single restrictive posture. You can lie on your back, on your side, or on your stomach. You can use pillows to support your hips or back to find what feels most comfortable and pleasurable for you. This variety is not just for comfort. It can also change the sensory experience. Different positions stimulate different nerve endings and allow for different types of touch and movement, which can enhance pleasure and help you discover new sensations, keeping the experience fresh and engaging. Making this change is also an important psychological shift. The bathroom is a functional, often sterile space associated with waste elimination. Your bedroom, on the other hand, is a space for rest, intimacy, and comfort. By moving this act of self-pleasure into the bedroom, you are mentally reframing it. You are giving it the space and importance it deserves as a healthy part of your life, rather than treating it as something to be rushed through secretly in a purely utilitarian space. This psychological shift can have a profound impact on your ability to relax and enjoy the experience. So the clear medical advice is to make the toilet a no-fly zone for masturbation. Make a conscious decision to create a comfortable and supportive environment for self-pleasure. Use your bed, use pillows, and allow your body to be in a state of complete relaxation. This small change will protect you from the long-term health risks of hemorrhoids and pelvic strain, improve blood flow and nerve function for better erections and sensation, and enhance the overall quality and pleasure of your experience. It's a simple fix with a multitude of benefits for your long-term health and well-being. Let's talk about mistake number 3. Rushing the experience. We live in a fast-paced world, but rushing short-circuits a beautifully complex process. Arousal involves your nervous system, hormones, and cardiovascular system. Rushing puts your body into a state of stress, activating the fight or flight response. Optimal experiences happen when the rest and digest system is in control, promoting relaxation and blood flow. Rushing creates a physiological conflict, leading to less fulfilling experiences and performance anxiety. Shifting your mindset from a goal to a process is key. It's about enjoying the journey, not just the destination. Rushing can strip away emotional benefits, leading to disconnection from your sexuality. Practice mindfulness, being fully present in the moment. Break the cycle by slowing down, trusting your body, and redefining success as presence and pleasure. Set an intention for relaxation, create a calming environment, and focus on mindful breathing. Expand your awareness to your entire body, resensitizing yourself with varied touch. Practice edging to prolong the experience and train your body to sustain high levels of pleasure. Ignoring the pelvic floor is a mistake, especially for men. The pelvic floor is a group of muscles that support pelvic organs. These muscles are important for sexual health. They help maintain erections and are responsible for contractions during orgasm. As men age, these muscles can weaken, leading to issues like erectile dysfunction. The good news is, they can be strengthened with exercises called Kegels. To find these muscles, try stopping the flow of urine midstream, but don't do this regularly. Contract and relax these muscles for a few seconds at a time, repeating several times a day. Benefits include improved erectile quality, enhanced ejaculatory control, and better core stability. Strengthening your pelvic floor is a proactive step towards a satisfying sex life and overall well-being. Now we arrive at mistake number 5, and it's a question of balance, the frequency of masturbation. This is a topic that can be confusing because there's no single magic number that's right for everyone. However, we can definitely talk about the potential problems that arise at the extremes, starting with doing it too often. What constitutes too often? Generally, we're talking about a frequency that starts to interfere with your daily life, your relationships, or your physical health. It becomes compulsive, feeling less like a choice and more like a need you can't control. This is when we need to pay close attention. From a purely physical perspective, excessive masturbation can lead to some tangible issues. One common problem is skin irritation or chafing. If you're not using lubrication and you're engaging in frequent aggressive sessions, you can cause friction burns, redness, and discomfort on the penis. In more extreme cases, some men can experience a condition called Peyronie's disease, which involves the buildup of scar tissue, although this is more linked to aggressive technique than frequency alone. Another physical concern is simple exhaustion. If your masturbation habits are disrupting your sleep or leaving you feeling drained, it's a clear sign that the frequency might be too high for your body to handle. The psychological and neurological impact is perhaps even more significant. As we discussed in a previous chapter regarding porn, very frequent masturbation, especially to the point of orgasm, can lead to a desensitization of your brain's dopamine reward pathways. You start needing more and more stimulation to achieve the same level of pleasure. This can make real-life sexual encounters with a partner seem less exciting or stimulating by comparison. It raises the bar for arousal to an unnaturally high level, which can create significant issues in a relationship. Your brain becomes conditioned to a specific high-intensity solo stimulus. Furthermore, when masturbation becomes a primary coping mechanism for stress, boredom, or emotional pain, it can prevent you from developing healthier coping strategies. It provides a temporary escape, but it doesn't solve the underlying issue. If you find yourself turning to masturbation compulsively whenever you feel anxious or sad, it might be a sign that it has moved from a healthy outlet to an avoidance tactic. This can stunt emotional growth and prevent you from addressing the root causes of your distress. The key is to ask yourself, is this a choice I am making for pleasure and relaxation, or is it a compulsion I am using to escape? The answer to that question is crucial. On the other side of the spectrum, we have the mistake of doing it too rarely or stopping altogether. In our culture, especially for older generations, There can be lingering feelings of guilt or shame around masturbation, leading some men to avoid it. Others might stop due to a drop in libido, performance anxiety, or simply because they've gotten out of the habit. However, from a health perspective, this use it or lose it principle has some very real applications when it comes to male sexual function. Abstaining for long periods can have its own set of negative consequences that are important to understand. From a physiological standpoint, regular erections are like exercise for the penis. They promote healthy blood flow, bringing oxygen-rich blood. Let's discuss using too much pressure, often called the death grip. This habit involves excessive force during masturbation, often developed unknowingly over years. The body adapts, needing more pressure for the same arousal, creating a difficult cycle to break. Nerve endings become accustomed to intense stimulation, becoming less responsive to gentle touch. This can lead to delayed ejaculation and impact partnered sex, causing frustration and anxiety. The penis is sensitive, not designed for force. Risks include tissue damage, nerve compression, and skin irritation. Peyronie's disease and erectile dysfunction are potential consequences. To break this cycle, conscious resensitization is key. Use lubrication to reduce friction and loosen your grip. Try the three-finger technique to focus on sensation. Retrain your brain to appreciate subtle signals through mindfulness. Be patient. It's a gradual process. The reward is a healthier relationship with your body and improved intimacy. The final mistake: emotionless, routine touch. Masturbation becomes mechanical, a task, not an experience. It's a sign of disconnection from your body and emotions. Self-pleasure becomes another task on the to-do list. Sexual energy is powerful. Treating it mechanically numbs us to pleasure and connection. Our capacity for pleasure is deeply intertwined with our emotional state. We need to talk about the mind-body connection. Your brain is your most important sex organ. Arousal is triggered by thoughts, fantasies, memories, and emotions. An emotionless act bypasses this crucial process. This is why mindful masturbation is so powerful. It's bringing your full attention to the present moment, transforming the act into a full-body, deeply felt experience. By consciously bringing emotion, intention, and presence back into self-pleasure, you stimulate neural pathways. Change the setting and intention. Set aside dedicated time. Begin with non-sexual touch. Practice mindful, caring touch on your entire body. The goal is pleasure in this moment. Bring your mind into the experience. Integrate the aftermath. Feel gratitude for your body and its capacity for pleasure. Transform it into a powerful practice of self-connection. We've covered a lot of ground today, from the neurological impact of porn to the physical risks of a death grip and the profound importance of emotional connection. And if there's one single message I want you to take away from all of this, it's that the biggest threat to a healthy, vibrant sex life as you get older is not age itself. It's not wrinkles or gray hair. The biggest threat is disconnection. Disconnection from your body, from your emotions, and from the true nature of your own sensuality. The mistakes we've discussed are all, at their core, symptoms of this disconnection. But here is the incredibly hopeful news. Connection can be rebuilt. It is never, ever too late to change these habits and forge a new relationship with your body. It's not about trying to be 20 again. It's about embracing the man you are now, with the wisdom and experience you have, and learning to bring that wisdom into this very personal part of your life. It's about trading mindless routine for mindful ritual, trading force for finesse, and trading disconnection for deep personal intimacy. This is a journey of rediscovery, and it's one that every man is capable of, and every man deserves to take. The path forward is one of patience, curiosity, and self-compassion. It requires you to be gentle with yourself, both physically and emotionally. It means giving yourself permission to explore, to feel, and to prioritize your own pleasure in a healthy, integrated way. Remember the key principles. Balance your stimulation. Be mindful of your posture. Slow down. Engage your pelvic floor. Find your right frequency. Use a gentle touch. And most importantly, infuse the experience with emotion and presence. These aren't just rules. They are invitations to a more fulfilling and sustainable sex life. If this video helped you, leave a 1 in the comments. If not, leave a 0. Your feedback is incredibly valuable, and it helps me create better, more helpful content for you. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel because every single week, I'll be right here, helping you thrive after 60. My name is Dr. Evelyn Marsh. Stay strong, stay connected, and never ever stop believing in your body's incredible capacity for pleasure.